Good day, Ethiopia. Learn more about economic, creative, cultural, sporting, science, and educational aspects of Australia-Ethiopia relations on our latest show, Good Day Ethiopia, on 104.7 EBC FM, airing on the first Wednesday of every month at 4 p.m. Brought to you by the Australian Embassy, powered by Awazi Media, PLC.
Hello and welcome to the new series of Good Day Ethiopia. Good Day Ethiopia explores a range of topics from politics to arts and culture to enhance people-to-people links and understandings between Australia, Ethiopia, and the region. We speak with prominent and emerging leaders, influencers, and experts to share their experience of and connections with Australia and the region. Today, I'm speaking with Tsehay Hawkins.
Hi.
Hi, welcome to the show. So I'm just going to quickly read out your short bio for our listeners. Tsehay Hawkins is an Ethiopian Australian dancer, singer, and musician. In August 2021, she became part of the Wiggles, wearing a red shirt. Later in the year, she replaced Emma Watkins at the Yellow Wiggle. Born in Addis Ababa in November 2005, she was adopted and raised by Australian parents Robin and Reg Hawkins when she was 8 months old. Tsehay has represented Australia in the World Latin Dance Championship in 2017 and 2021. She has won 11 Australian titles in Latin and commercial dance and 5 times world titles in Latin dance, and is current Australian and World Youth Ladies Salsa and Urban Latino champion, and the current World Amateur Ladies Salsa and Urban Latin champion. Tsehay won salsa titles at 2021 Calgary International Salsa Congress and the 2022 Worldwide Salsa Solo Championship. Again, thank you so much for coming, Tsehay. It is so good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
So how are you feeling this morning? I just wanted to ask you, did I say the good day? Good day?
Good day. That was great. You did that very well.
I was practicing. I heard it was
no worries.
Australian greeting.
Yeah.
So Tsehay, let me quickly go to our questions then. I know you've always loved music and began Ethiopian and commercial dancing at age 2. Would you please tell us a little bit about yourself in general?
Well, of course. I was born in Addis Ababa, and when I was 8 months old, my amazing parents adopted me, Robin and Reg Hawkins, from Ethiopia, and I've lived in Sydney, Australia ever since. I started dancing when I was 2 years old. My parents put me into dance classes because I was always dancing around the house to Wiggles music, actually, and I had so much energy, so they put me into ballet and jazz and tap lessons. And as I grew a tiny bit older, there was a Ethiopian adoption group with all kids who had been adopted from Ethiopia that were now living in Australia. And we did groups together where we did Eskista, and we learned about we learned some Amharic, and it was like a little group. It was really lovely. And from there I started learning West African dancing, and I went to different festivals and saw other styles. And then we adopted my gorgeous little brother from Ethiopia. Well, not from Ethiopia, sorry. We adopted Can I start again? We adopted my gorgeous little brother from Colombia in South America. And he was about the same age when he came and stayed with us. And I fell in love with their Latin culture as well. With their style was called cumbia with dresses. And I went to a little dance studio in Sydney that did cumbia, and I saw the older kids doing salsa, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. I want to start doing that. So from there, I started different Latin styles. And as I grew older, I still did commercial dancing and West African and Ethiopian outside of school. And then when I got into year 9, I went to a full-time dance studio for commercial dancing. And then I did salsa and Ethiopian on the side on the weekends when I had time. And then as it grew, I ended up becoming asked to be a Wiggle, and that was out of this world. And now this journey is erupted, and it's such an amazing experience. And yeah, my life has been crazy, but I love it.
That is wonderful. That is wonderful. Thank you so much. So just as a follow-up, as an Australian with Ethiopian heritage, how has your background influenced during your journey?
My background has completely influenced my journey. Ever since I was little, my parents made sure that Ethiopian culture was part of my entire life. We have different artifacts around the house. And we'd listen to music when I was little, and we'd go to festivals, and we'd mingle with people, the Ethiopian community in Australia as well. And my parents thought it was so important for me to not only embrace that culture but my Aussie culture as well. As you can tell, I've got a very strong Australian accent. So I love incorporating both parts of my culture. And with Ethiopian dancing and music, and like how we use our shoulders and neck to dance, I incorporate that in every dance style I do, sometimes even ballet, which is kind of funny. But it's influenced me a whole lot. It's empowered me to be proud of where I'm from, and I'm so proud to be Ethiopian. And yeah, I think it's played a huge role in my life.
Amazing. You've always been passionate about dance. Can you tell us why that is exactly?
Yes, I've always been extremely passionate about dance. And I guess because it's a form of expression, a way, like a non-verbal form of expression where I can communicate my feelings through dance, and it's an art form. And I feel that it's what comes most natural to me. When I was little, all I did was dance around the house. When I was at school, I danced around the school, even when there wasn't music. I always dance as an outlet. And you can incorporate, so you can learn so much from dance, from Eskitha, from Ethiopian styles, and then from Latin, from Colombia. I learned different styles about their culture and different historical background pieces.
Don't worry about it.
That was Anthony Wiggle, by the way.
Oh, real? Wow. Say hi to me.
I will. And I like just going on with different cultures through dance. I can learn about so many different cultures, and dance is just a tool to learn and to grow. And I feel like it brings people together. And I get so much joy for performing for people, and people get so much joy watching dancing, and then they want to dance. I just think it's such a universal art form, and I'm so proud that I can be a dancer, and dancing is my favorite thing ever.
Yeah, magnificent. That's amazing. Tsehay selected two of her favorite songs, and the first one is Brown Skin Girl by Beyonce, Blue Ivy Carter, St. John, and Wizkid. Brown Skin Girl highlights and admires the power behind women of color and black beauty. The song represents all brown-skinned women and embraces their unique culture, opposed to how it was looked down on Western society. Listen.
Good day, Ethiopia. Learn more about economic, creative, cultural, sporting, science, and educational aspects of Australia-Ethiopia relations on our latest show, Good Day Ethiopia, on 104.7 EBC FM, airing on the first Wednesday of every month at 4 p.m. Brought to you by the Australian Embassy, powered by Awazi Media, PLC.
So the Wiggles have been entertaining millions of families across the globe for like over 30 years. But they're not well known in this part of the world per se. Just tell us who are the Wiggles for maybe our Ethiopian listeners.
Oh, yeah, of course. The Wiggles are basically an Australian children entertainers group. There's 4 Wiggles, like the main characters. One's yellow, one wears blue, one wears red, and one wears purple. And we basically dance and sing and teach kids about everything through song and music and acting. And it's very bright. There's a lot of color. There's different characters. And like little kids get to learn about like counting, numbers, the alphabet, just everything basically. And they that's where I first found my love of like music and dancing, watching them all the time on the screen. And I think it's just an amazing show because so many people love it. It's so iconic in Australia. It's been going for over 30 years now. And it's just where people that's where little kids, when parents have had a rough day and they need their kids to watch something, you put the Wiggles on and they'll be fixed at the TV. So it's a group to perform and entertain children, and it promotes learning, healthy eating, and also just dancing, which is amazing.
That is amazing, and I really hope most of our kids get to know the Wiggles these days. I really hope you guys get introduced here. So just as a follow-up question, why do you think the Wiggles have been so successful and able to go on for so long? I mean, at least in your part of the world. Just give us your idea on the reasons.
Well, I think it's because there hasn't been anything like that, like a children's group that's consistent with their message and inspires children to dance and perform. But also you get a new group, new form of viewers, new generation every few years. Like they begin to grow up, and the Wiggles never get old because little kids, people like kids who have been just born, introduced to it, and that's what they know. And that's how that's how I learned with music, and that's what they see first. And I think like so many people embrace it, and not even just in Australia. Aussie, I guess the Aussie accents as well really stand out. But they're huge in North America and in Canada. We've got a huge following over there, and I think it's just because it's all about dance music and there's so much joy. It was just about learning, and it was in a fun way that kids felt like they were empowered and they could follow them and have the best time. I think the Wiggles are so iconic because they've always been basically doing what the kids want to see. Like they've always been there for what the children find funny, what they find entertaining, not for the whole world, but just for the kids, because that's what the Wiggles are for.
Amazing. That's wonderful. How does it feel to be part of the group?
Oh my gosh. Well, as I said, I grew up watching the Four Wiggles. Like that's what I remember of my childhood. And I think it's surreal because I grew up watching them. I like idolized them with dancing and music and singing, and it was just so much color, and seeing that would make me feel joyful when I was little, and that's what lifted my spirits. And if I heard like there were songs like Dorothy the Dinosaur, and I would be dancing around the house because we only had CDs then. My mum would have to play the same song on repeat, and it was ingrained in me. So the fact that I'm now performing as a Wiggle to inspire a bunch of other children is amazing. And also being part of this group and being one of the first people of colour to be part of the Wiggles is honestly a dream come true. That the fact that I can be representative not only for Ethiopians, which I'm so proud, but for all people that may feel like they don't fit in, especially like in Australia. And I get to embrace my love for Aussie culture and Ethiopian culture, and I just get to showcase it and help kids be inspired and from the day they were born to love music and dance.
That is amazing. It really is amazing. So perhaps my last question for the day, which I'm sad about.
I know, I'm enjoying this.
You've had a successful journey through your dancing like you told us, at such a young age. So what would you say is the key to your success?
I guess the key is to work super hard, that not everything comes easy, and that you've got to work and put all your effort into it, and there'll be good outcomes. To always be positive and radiate kind energy, because what you give out comes back. And I feel like also I've had such a wonderful and supportive family. They've always been there for me. They've known like I'm really indecisive, so they've helped me with so many decisions, and I know they're always there for me. Also, I believe God's guiding me too, and I'm very, very blessed. I've had a very blessed life, but also just to follow your passions and like not to like second guess, just to push forward and pursue your dreams, basically. I've had a very, very supportive environment where I've been, and that's definitely helped me, of course. But I really think it's just like focusing on your dreams and really just that's your passion, go for it.
Amazing. I mean, thank you for the last message for our listeners as well. But do you have any other message to our audience that you would like to say? Anything at all?
Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to say that I'm so proud to be an Ethiopian. And every time I used to see like artists that were Ethiopian making it, I would be like, yes, like, and let everyone know, the Habesha. Like, I was really, really proud. And I just really hope, and I've had such an amazing outpour of positive support and feedback from the Ethiopian community and like from the Ethiopian community in Australia too. And I just wanted to say, like, I hope I can represent in the way that you guys want me to, and I'm very proud.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and hopefully we get to see you tour with the Wiggles one day in Ethiopia. Your CDs makes it here.
Love to.
Like that. Hopefully we'll get to see you soon. But thank you so much. I had a great time with you, Tsehay, and I hope this won't be our last. We'll meet again soon.
Definitely. We definitely have to talk again.
Thank you so much. Well, you have a nice evening, I think. Is it an evening or a morning?
Yeah, evening. And you have a nice morning.
Yeah, see, we are just starting our day.
I hope you have a great day.
Well, hope you have a great evening as well. And,
Thank you.
all right. See you. Tsehay. Bye-bye.
See ya.
The second song is Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves. Walking on Sunshine is special to Tsehay mainly because of how uplifting, bright, and highly energetic song it is. It also kind of felt like her theme song because people would call her Sunshine when she was little, and her name actually means the sun.
Good day, Ethiopia. Learn more about economic, creative, cultural, sporting, science, and educational aspects of Australia-Ethiopia relations on our latest show, Good Day Ethiopia, on 104.7 EBC FM, airing on the first Wednesday of every month at 4 p.m. Brought to you by the Australian Embassy, powered by Awaze Media, PLC.
Welcome to Good Day Ethiopia podcast series. Good Day Ethiopia explores a range of topics from politics to arts and culture to enhance people-to-people links and understanding between Ethiopia and Australia. We speak with prominent and emerging leaders, influencers, and experts to share their experiences of and connections to Ethiopia and Australia. Good Day Ethiopia is proudly produced by the Australian Embassy. Today, we are talking to Diane Yaynu. Diane was born in Ethiopia and raised in Australia. She is a self-taught artist and always passionate about art and painting. She is a vibrant painter who tries to illustrate fusion of many realities, collisions of culture, and the abstract of life. Diane, welcome to the show. We're really thrilled to have you.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'll start with the first question. You spent most of your childhood in Australia. How did your upbringing in Australia shape your understanding of art and culture of painting?
So I went to Australia from the age of 7, and that's pretty much where I grew up. I'm 27 now, so for a good 20 years, I spent most of my life there. And for anybody that's been to Australia, you will know that it's a very multicultural place. It's full of multiculturalism and people from all over the world that have come and made Australia their home. So I guess I grew up constantly exposed to different people's experiences, their culture, their traditions, their beliefs, and all of that. So I think that's what's mainly influenced me and how I see myself in the art world. And I would say another big thing would be the Aboriginal culture and how they express themselves in their art, the way they tell stories through using symbols and the dream time and things like that. So I think it's a really amazing, beautiful thing. So I guess now living in Ethiopia, I have taken a lot of what I've learned from Australia and everything I was exposed to and brought it here and immersed myself in my own culture, in my own country. The place I'm originally from. So it's kind of made me look deeply into the Ethiopian culture and the Ethiopian heritage and think about, okay, how can I merge the two? Because they're both, that's who I am. I'm Ethiopian and Australian. So I'm in the process of merging both experiences.
Great. As an emerging artist, what are your reflections on the art scene in Ethiopia?
Honestly speaking, when I first came here, it's been 2 years now. I landed and then a month later, COVID hit. So I didn't get much time to really completely immerse myself in the Ethiopian art scene as I wanted to, because a lot of galleries were closing down, events were not happening because obviously COVID. So I'm still in the process. I think now that life is slowly going back to normal, it's only now that I'm starting to experience these artistic experiences and events. But from what I have seen so far, there's so much talent here. There's a lot of interesting events, a lot of people bringing different things to the table. So I think slowly this is an industry that's going to grow so big and blow up and take the rest of the world, by surprise.
I know you started your venture recently. What are the challenges for you to establish yourself, and how did you aim to overcome this?
I would say the biggest challenges I have faced so far is finding supplies, art supplies. I know of one place where you can buy canvas. You can also buy paint from there, but it's not the best quality. And coming from Australia where everything's available everywhere, I think I took that for granted. And then when I came here, and I couldn't just, be very reckless with my brushes and not clean them because I can just go buy one. That's not the case. I have to be very careful, use my paint very, very well, make it last. So I think art supply there's a huge shortage of art supply. Not even a shortage, there is no art supplies here. So I think that's a big challenge. Another thing I think would be finding the space and the guidance that you need as an artist. Not just a paint artist, but any type of creative. It's because it's new. It's not something that was really appreciated in the past. It's only now that people are coming out and making this a career, and people are taking it seriously now. So it's a virgin market. So slowly things are being established, but until we do that, it's going to be very hard for everybody.
I'm sure we'll be able to overcome many challenges in the future. Zion has chosen two of her favorite songs for this podcast. The first one is Dasi Balano by Solomon Haile. Please have a listen.
Good day, Ethiopia. Learn more about economic, creative, cultural, sporting, science, and educational aspects of Australia-Ethiopia relations on our latest show, Good Day Ethiopia, on 104.7 EBC FM, airing on the first Wednesday of every month at 4 p.m. Brought to you by the Australian Embassy, powered by Awazi Media, PLC.
Sir Zion Art Studio, what form of art are you trying to showcase?
So the first studio that I opened was Zion Art Studio, and that was just a small space, kind of just for me and me only. I needed a space to paint. That was it. But once I opened, I realized that so many people were interested and they wanted to come and actually see the work and sit there, do their own work. So it turned into a gallery. And then a year later, which is now, that place became too small for me. So I got together with a friend of mine, Fuabilich on Instagram. She's a photographer. And we opened a studio together, a much bigger studio in Mescal Flower. And it's called Studio 11. So this space is now open to not just me and her as a painter and a photographer, but anybody else that's in the visual arts. If they want to use this space, they can come use the space, hold any kind of event if they want to. So kind of making the space available for creatives, different kind of creatives as well.
Nice. What ideas and concepts do you like to illustrate in your work?
Well, I'm still in that process of experimenting. I'm trying all the different styles because I'm a self-taught artist, and I think it's important to try to see where you find yourself like drawn towards, and you can't do that unless you're constantly trying and different paintings, different styles, different methods, different everything. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going from portraits, expressionism, abstract, all these things. So I'm trying everything. But I think right now I'm drawn more towards the traditional way of Ethiopian paintings with a little bit of the abstractness of the Australian paintings that I used to love when I was there. So that's my style.
As you know, Ethiopia has its own indigenous type of art, and you try to bring a mix of modern and Ethiopian paintings to your work. How do these forms work together?
So, as I mentioned, I do love the traditional way of painting, the traditional Ethiopian ways, where the characters look a bit cartoonish with the big eyes and the small nose and small lips, and the big afros. So I love that style, but I wanted to kind of put a little bit of a twist on it. And I think my experiences and what I was kind of exposed to in Australia helped me do that. So now I'm building a collection. As I'm hoping to have an exhibition very soon, and that collection is going to be a mixture of both styles, in kind of like a Basquiat kind of twist to it. So I'm excited for people to see that one.
Do you plan to share your experience and learnings to other young people interested in art and painting?
Yes, I 100%, because this is something I am trying to push people to do here. If you're an artist, you need to try to also make it into a business. Try to open something, try to display your work somehow, even if it's not a physical location. There's social media, there's so many things you could do to get your work out there. And that's how I've managed to open a studio. About 90% of my commission pieces and the clients that I get is from Instagram. So if I would recommend that young people utilize what we have right now, which is social media, and then run with that. Show your work on there, expose everything that you have, and slowly you can check out different artists through those medias as well.
Across Ethiopia, young people, especially women, face a range of obstacles to show and express their talents. What's your advice for young Ethiopians to achieve their potential?
I would say put yourself out there, especially in the art scene in general all over the world. Women don't get as much recognition and aren't celebrated as much. But this isn't something we should just look at and accept that this is just how it is. You have to decide, no, this is how it's been, but it's not going to be anymore, because I'm going to put myself out there, put my work out there, and make sure that I'm not ignored and I'm heard and appreciated. So just be courageous. Yeah.
Thank you, Zion. We have come to the end of our podcast interview. Do you have anything you would like to say?
Final words would be in regards to if you're an artist or if you know some upcoming artists and they're looking for some guidance, maybe some space to exhibit their work or anything, just let them know that Studio 11 is available. You can find us on Instagram. Our details are on there. But reach out to us, and we're trying to create the space in Addis. So, this is a good step. We need to build a community. And another thing is I also host Paint and Sips. I do private sessions at the studio where you can book for your family and friends or date night or something. And I just organize everything. You just have to come and paint. But I also do public Paint and Sips, where you can purchase a seat and come and have a good time and enjoy yourself.
We are pleased to announce that we'll be starting a series of paint and sip sessions with Zion over the coming months. It will be a great opportunity to relax, learn more about a range of issues, and create your own masterpiece under Zion's guidance. Keep an eye on the Australian Embassy social media pages for more updates. Thank you, Zion, for being part of this podcast. We're honored to have you. Have a good day. Zion's second favorite song is When I'm in Your Arms by Chloe Soul.
Good Day Ethiopia. Learn more about economic, creative, cultural, sporting, science, and educational aspects of Australia-Ethiopia relations on our latest show, Good Day Ethiopia, on 104.7 EBC FM, airing on the first Wednesday of every month at 4 p.m. Brought to you by the Australian Embassy, powered by Awazi Media, PLC.